The boy found a strange wishing machine in the amusement park. It was not connected to the power supply but could work normally. The boy curiously threw a coin and then said his wish.
I wish I were big.
The next second, the wishing machine spit out a card with "Your wish is granted" written on it. George didn't believe it at first. Who knew that he found that he had really become an adult the next day? His pants were too small to wear. George could only wear his father's clothes first. He ran away when his mother was not paying attention. He wanted to find the wishing machine from yesterday to change himself back. But when he rushed to the amusement park last night, he found that everything here disappeared out of thin air. He felt like he had hit something evil. George had no choice but to go home first. He wanted to explain everything to his mother. But looking at the strange man in front of her, his mother was scared, and she didn't believe George at all. George was so anxious that he took off his pants. He wanted to show his mother the birthmark on his buttocks. As a result, my mother picked up the kitchen knife and chased after me. George had no choice but to go to his best friend Billy. At first, Billy was scared by this madman and he wanted to run away in panic. Fortunately, George sang their unique code in time.
She said a Triscuit, a biscuit, ice cream soda, ooh, Shalita, walking down the street.
Billy was sure that the 30-year-old man in front of him was his friend George. He went home and stole his father's clothes and private money and gave them to George. That night, Billy arranged for George to stay in a shabby hotel and went home. George, who spent the night outside for the first time, felt a huge panic and helplessness in his heart. He couldn't help curling up in bed and crying loudly for his mother. It turned out that the adult world was so difficult. The next day, Billy sneaked out again to meet George. They asked around for the whereabouts of the wishing machine, but they found nothing after searching for several days in a row. Soon they ran out of money, and George had to find a job to support himself. Billy took him to the toy company for an interview. They fake high education and rich work experience. The interviewer didn't talk for a few words and notified George to come to work the next day. George was full of enthusiasm on his first day of work, but a colleague on the side reminded him that working slower is the norm at work. This was the first time George felt the unspoken rules from the adult world, but he still treated this job with enthusiasm and heart. At the same time, in order not to worry his mother, George pretended to be a kidnapper and called his mother to tell her that he was safe and asked her not to worry. Soon, George got his first internship salary.
$187?
This was a huge sum of money for George, who was only 13 years old. He excitedly called Billy and ran to the street to spend money. Not only could they enjoy the burgers, but he also bought toys that they had loved for a long time. At this moment, George finally experienced the happiness of adults. This day, George came to the company's toy store alone. Soon, he was attracted by the dazzling array of toys here, so he completely liberated his nature.
Oh, no, Rocky!